It is a great pleasure to welcome to the news desk one of the true legends of the game from France, Mr. Raphaël Lévy, and in the roll-in there, it said 100. Now
It's not my age now.
No, they're heading in that direction, Raph. Look, this is the very first Mythic Championship here in Cleveland. But it looks remarkably similar to 99 other events that you've been to over the last 22 years, 22 years, something like that.
Almost 22 years, yeah.
Right, okay. And of course, no one has ever done this. You are looking at the player who has played more of these events than anyone ever. So we wanted to acknowledge that incredible milestone that, who knows, may never be beaten. We're talking with the Kiefer family and saying, you know what, Quinn? You're going to be in your mid-30s if you're ever going to come close to what Raf's achieved in the game. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that. How did you get into the game? Where did you find Magic, or where did Magic find you?
So I was very young. I was about like 12 or 13. And a friend of mine was telling me about this game he started playing. He was calling it Deck. I played Decks.
The game called Decks?
Yeah, Decks.
Okay.
So I was playing chess at the time. And, it's a strategy game. And, you should get into it. I'm okay, well, let's show me what you have. So we play with very, very wrong rules, just like a lot of people. And, not a lot of people would actually tell us how the game actually worked.
Because not a lot of people would know.
And it was in English too, so the rule book was confusing for us
super.
Too. For the Frenchies, it's very confusing English,
Well, I do, Raph. I do know this. Why don't we've pulled some photos from the archive. I want to put these up on screen. Now, I can tell you sometimes you can tell the history of Magic by the resolution of photos, because some of these things, that photo on the right at the top there was on the website, and it was very, very, very small indeed. And I think that's probably World's Chicago 99
yeah.
round 1.
I think Steve-O.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you had a World Championship top 8 in 1998, and then Chicago in 99. What was the competitive scene like at the back end of the 90s?
So if you look back now and you look at the names, you're like, oh yeah, this guy is famous. Oh, this guy is famous. So it was a short field of like between 200 and 300 players, something that's not happening these days.
Yep.
But very good players. So shorter field, but bigger names.
Yeah, I think it was Chicago 99, 4 Hall of Famers in the top 8.
There was Bob Maher.
Ben Rubin, I think.
No.
Oh, was that Chicago?
It was World's 98.
World's 98, right.
It was Ben Rubin, Finkel.
Right.
Chris Picula, almost Hall of Fame.
Almost, yep.
And
yeah, so, I mean, just phenomenal lineup from that. And talking of the Hall of Fame, you were inducted into the Hall of Fame very early. It was the 2006, and that was only the second year of the Hall. Looking at it now, as you see all the people who are in the Hall, what does it mean to you now to be a Hall of Famer?
It feels a little different from the start because we were only 10 at the time I was inducted, so it felt very special. Of course, it feels less special when there are like 5 more, 4 more, 2, up to 48, I think, today.
Sure.
But still, it's an achievement that I'm very happy to, when they ask for the career achievements, that's the only thing I put on, PT Hall of Fame.
Okay, you don't go made day 2 of several Grand Prix?
No, or just like won the pre-release.
Because to be fair, talking of making day 2 of Grand Prix, you don't just make day 2, you win these things. You have 6 Grand Prix titles spread across 3 decades. The 2 that I remember most clearly, 2007, I want to say, where you were in 2 different continents a week apart and won both. Dallas, Fort Worth, and Singapore. And I remember you writing about that after Singapore and saying, on the plane to Singapore, which was the second one, I think I've got that right order, you said, I just knew I was in the perfect spot. My deck was perfect. I was playing it perfectly. I just won last week in Dallas. I went expecting to beat everybody, which no one ever can say with a straight face, and you did and delivered.
Like when you're running hot, this is easy to say, especially when you win again. Say, oh yeah, I knew it. Of course, if you lose, you don't. The story is told a little differently. But yeah, when you're running hot, nothing stops you, and you get like always the good draws, never mulligan, and I was just in a hot streak.
Well, you talk about hot streak and the moment where the top deck happens and there are no mulligans. And actually, the clip we've chosen doesn't even feature you playing.
I'm in the back.
Let's take a look.
World Magic Cup, and when they drew Bonfire on that last turn, it was Well, you can see our reactions on camera. They've been immortalized. So hopefully both these teams are hoping to not have to repeat that experience.
Like, please no gifts. Please no gifts.
Yeah.
It's like gifts ungiven.
Gifts ungiven. Yeah.
All right. We are really down to the wire here. Hungary has drawn a land. Hungary will turn Olivia Voldaren sideways and make us one turn away, we think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot, shoot.
Get a bigger die.
Yeah. Move on up the D&D chain. Smash. In comes Olivia. Simono now. Right on the wire.
This is the draw
Someone
step.
is about to win the World Magic Cup. Hungary passes the turn.
Just flip it.
Come on then, flip it. That's what they're asking you for. Turn it over. What have you drawn? What is it? What is it? What is it? Rakdos return! Rakdos return! And they've done it! The French have done it! That is unbelievable magic! They've won everything in the game, and now they've won the World Magic Cup. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant, élevé. France win! France win! France win! BDM, what was that like?
That was, I mean, knowing Raph for a long time, that's just, it's hard for me to not be just filled with this great warm feeling for him, and so happy for him and the French team, the entire country.
Well, was that the most invested you'd ever been watching a game of Magic?
Yeah, when I feel down, I just put on YouTube and watch the match again.
You've still watched that back?
When I feel really down, yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, when...
Yeah. In the tough moments.
Yeah. You can hear me during the finals. Like when Timothée draws the card, like I'm the first one, like, yes! And that was just jumping around already. Yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Now life moves on.
Yes.
When you started, you couldn't have imagined that there would be a Monica in your life. You couldn't have imagined that there'd be a Lavan in your life, which there are now. You're a fantastic family. What does the future hold for Raphaël Lévy? 100 of these events. Will we see you at 101 and 110 down the line?
101 for sure. 102 most likely. And then we'll see what the future holds. There's a lot of things going on at home.
Mm-hmm.
And the investment is a little harder to put in when you have, a family and good people waiting at home for you.
For sure. Raph, history's there to be broken, but it's very likely that the 100 will never be surpassed. Raphaël Lévy, a true legend of the game, Hall of Famer, and 100 of these things under his belt. Astonishing.